Welcome to a brand new episode of Collective Consciousness. My name is Tiny and I am your loving host, and I am so happy to welcome you to this week's episode where we are going to be talking about falling down and picking ourselves back up. And we're also going to talk about a little bit of free choice and how that plays into everything. If you missed last week's episode, which honestly is a perfect segue, last week we talked about protecting your energy. So we're going to tie everything a little together and, make it make sense for you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my lovely guest star / co-star, Chocolate Paris or Paris. And we're going to get started with today.
Just giving y'all these pearly white teeth.
Hey y'all, we're back.
We're back, of course.
I know y'all missed us.
I know y'all did. It's your favorite talk show. How could you not?
How could you not? So what are we talking about today? When you fall down, get back up.
It's that simple.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
I feel like a lot of times in life we go through something and it's just like you allow emotions to kind of take over the situation, but one thing that I want you guys to understand is you have free choice.
Yeah, you have free choice. Literally, you can determine how long you sit in a situation. Literally.
Absolutely.
You can give yourself time, 5-10 minutes, that's all I'm going to give myself to be upset or to be angry, and I'm not going to let it control my future.
For sure. And like how you react to a situation completely determines the outcome. I remember we have a mutual friend, Mark. I went to go get my tire changed or something, or no, it was my brakes. My brakes. I had bought new brake pads. I was ready to get my brakes done, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go get it done. And we got there, and I had these like super custom rims on the car, and didn't have the key. Thank you. See, I'm just over here pantomiming. I did not have the key. And could not get in, and it was just like a little friend who was gonna do the brakes for me. It wasn't even a shop or nothing.
Right.
So we went on a whole manhunt to find the key to do the brakes. We went to O'Reilly's, we went to AutoZone. We were about to go ask a shop to borrow the key. Or like,
we don't need to buy, sir. Can we borrow it, please?
$20
$20 to borrow it. You're like, no, ma'am, you cannot. You can bring your car here and we can change the brakes.
And you can pay us. Right. And I was like, not trying to do all that. So we went back to the house and I was just like, okay, well, what do now?
Well, I'm done. Not even English. What do now?
What do now?
I cannot. I don't have time for words. What do now? That's
and I was just like, but in that moment, I had two options. I could have been like, well, insert cuss words here. I'm so mad because I couldn't.
Would have been definitely more than one customer.
Yeah, for sure. Like I can't get I drove all the way out here. My brakes, I can't even stop the car. It's so dangerous. Or I could go to the house and chill out a little bit, and then reassess. And so that's what we did. We went to the house. We got it together. Reassessed, and guess what? The guy was like, hold on a second. Have you checked your fluids? Well, fun fact about this car was somebody else's. And they just let me use it because my car had got towed when I was out the country. It's like, okay.
Okay.
Right. So I was like, well, funny story. I just learned how to open the hood because the latch was broken. And I had somebody who sold me the brake pads show me how to, with the screwdriver, get the latch open.
You don't talk about woman knowing what she's doing. We don't need y'all.
Yeah, figured it out. So I ended up getting in the hood, but at that time I did not check the fluids. So he was like, do you even have brake fluid? Because I remember when you stopped your car, I didn't hear screeching. Usually when your brake pads are messed up, you hear screeching. And I'm like, well, I don't know all this, but no, I didn't check fluids. And he was like, well, let's go check the fluids. Y'all, all I had to do was put some brake fluid in the
Won't he do it?
That's all I had to do.
Won't he do it?
That's all I had to do.
That's it.
And I was just like, I was about to go crazy because I'm like, now I gotta go to the shop. I bought these brake pads. I returned the brake pads and paid for a $6 bottle of brake fluid. But if I would have freaked out and I would have been mad, then I would have been like, well, F it, let's
It
go
would have been a
home.
whole lot of extra energy for no reason.
Let's
All
go
you needed was some
home.
fluid.
This was a waste of time. And then we wouldn't have had that moment to sit down to come to the conclusion. Then I would have took it to the shop. They would have changed the fluids, charged me for that, and still changed the brakes.
Exactly, not even
that.
knowing that they wouldn't even needed to change.
Wouldn't have said nothing to me.
They would have changed the brakes knowing that you didn't need to change.
They would have been like, oh, your
Money
brakes
on them.
actually were not too bad. We changed them for you. Here's the bill for the
Right.
labor. And actually the problem was you needed brake fluid. But we went ahead and topped off your
We
fluids.
handled it for you.
$150 later.
Here's the check.
Right.
I cannot.
So, you know, all that goes to say, you have the choice to choose how you respond to a situation when something happens that seems
Yeah,
bad.
nobody's saying to like not be human, because being human is being able to express your emotions. So if you're in a situation you get upset, angry, or emotional, anything like that, it's okay, to do that. It's perfectly fine, but not letting it control yourself. Give yourself a limit. You don't give yourself a whole day, because now that's a waste of a day. Give yourself 10, 15 minutes to yell, scream, whatever you may need to do. And then after that 15 minutes, set your timer. After the timer go off, okay, back to my day. Now what else can I do? Because obviously that I can't handle. I can't do anything about that. So
Right.
Why?
That's so vital. That is so vital. So,
what do?
what do now?
I cannot. What do now? That's all you need to do. When you fall, get back up. That's all you need to do.
That's so true. It's funny because when
Just give y'all mini lesson in 5 minutes. Y'all better get with it. If all you got is 5 minutes a day, that's all you need. Here you go.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
But successful people, that's the difference between success and failure. Successful people fail too. It's a necessary part of learning.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you talk to, well, you can't talk to him because he dead, but Einstein.
I'm like, who died? Who died?
Einstein once said, they were like, well, you know, you succeeded in you know, creating the light bulb, but what about all of those failures? He failed 10,000 times before he was successful. And he said that wasn't a failure. That was 10,000 ways not to do it.
Right.
You learn every single time.
Right.
The difference between success and failure is the person who's successful got back up.
And a thing that comes with, I don't even want to call it failure, but a thing that comes with, like, I guess not succeeding the first time, now that's a lesson that you've learned that you're able to give to somebody else. Like, if somebody were to come to you, ask Einstein, how do you make a light bulb? Now he can tell you, well, you don't want to do it that way, you don't want to do it that way, do it this way. So now you're, not only have you learned from your mistake, but now you have that information that you can give to somebody else.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
failing is okay.
And you know, I want to change the like associations that we have with the word failure.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. The bad thing is staying down there, right?
Giving up.
Yeah, and even in failure, in anything, you have a choice. Okay, well, am I going to accept this as my fate, or am I going to continue to try to keep trying to get the result that I was intended for in the first place?
We were actually just talking about that at workshop, my modeling workshop, just how when we go to, and we do a lot of castings, and you get told no a lot. You get told no a lot, but not letting that no affect you negatively. Somebody tell you no, okay, well, what can I do to get a yes? How can I get a yes? What can I do to better myself so that way next time I do come back, you say yes, of course you want me.
Absolutely.
So it's just about learning and taking that failure, and if you don't know the correct answer, going and finding the correct answer, going and finding why you were told no or why something didn't happen. Figuring it out, don't just being content with, okay, well, I guess it didn't work.
Right.
No, figure out why it didn't work.
Right. And every no you get, that's one no closer to that yes. Right?
Yeah. But that's also, like I said, room for you to fix what it is. Nobody's going to put you in a position that you're not ready for. So if you're told no, then use that as a growth.
Right. Why?
Why? Why not? Don't come at them like that, but just be like, why? You know, of course, whys are good. Whys are good, yeah.
Whys are always good. I honestly,
my daughter always asks him why. I'd be like, child, Jesus. But she's just thirsty for knowledge, that's all.
I was the same way as a child. Like, I still am. My relationships, my parents, they could not stand it because I can't just get behind something unless I understand why.
Exactly.
You know? And just understanding why is going to help you expand that consciousness and give you a solid grounding of what's going on, and it gives you the ability to make a sound decision in your either or, and your free choice, you know?
Yeah. So let's see, a time where I've fallen. God, I fall so much, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. I got hella strawberries. A time where I've fallen is probably just recently, you know, with starting my self-love journey and just getting out of the relationship or not so relationship that I was in. I was extremely hurt. So when I failed, honey, I failed. Like,
give us just a little taste about what
happened. I would say for falling.
What happened? Just a little taste. Just a little
example for me, Lord, my falling would be like anything that takes me out of my character. An example of falling. Like, I was hurt so badly that I was taken out of my character to where I got a little violent. I got a little violent.
We all do sometimes. It's okay.
Right. You know,
we're human.
I got a little violent. I got angry, and like I said, being human is being able to express your emotions in a healthy manner.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't healthy. I wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy.
So you responded in a very unhealthy, angry way.
Right.
And then what happened? What'd you do?
Gave myself maybe a day or two to be in that space.
So write this down. Are y'all writing this down? We gonna give you a second.
Get a pen.
Get a pen.
Or your phone, you know, because everybody's so techie now. But
something.
Yeah. So I gave myself my 2 days maybe to get my emotions together, and then I picked myself up and I just said, okay, what am I going to change so that this will never happen again?
So emotion was the first thing, right? Which is fine. Then she gave herself time, and then she used that time to make a sound decision.
Exactly. Definitely did. Made a sound decision. Then it was like making the decision. Then it was like, okay, you can say something, you can write something down, but now you have to decide how you're going to implement that decision that you made, because you're already in a position to where it's not what you wanted to do anyway. So now you're put in this position to where you have to make this decision in order to, because you're choosing yourself now. So I made my decision. I implemented a plan, and of course I had to protect my space because there's so many distractions that can set you back in, into whatever you were in. So I made my decision. I implemented my decision. I protected my space, and I got my own space. So that was my first step, especially if you're with somebody who's toxic, or can not necessarily, I guess toxic. Yes, very toxic.
It's okay.
It's okay. I mean,
because we learn.
Exactly.
Right?
Some people are born toxic,
And that was I'm honestly gonna say that was a very healthy way of responding, because a very unhealthy way, or to continue that toxicity, a person would have gotten angry, stayed in those emotions for longer than the 2 days that it took you, and made very irresponsible decisions, hooking up with somebody else, doing drugs, drinking, whatever.
Yeah, there's so many alternatives.
Whatever.
To kind of like run away from what it is.
To pacify for the pain. Instead, a healthy way is to address it, take the 2 days, take the time that's needed, go through it.
Right. But that doesn't say that every day you don't kind of like revisit it. It just means that you're not letting it affect your life in a negative way.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
I am one of the people that my emotions show on my face. So I've had to really work and practice on learning how to channel my emotions, because my facial expressions can definitely get me in a lot of trouble. And just recently I had to work on that. I was told something about me being up here and I needed to bring it down here, and
dang,
that's what I said. I was like, really? Me? Chocolate Paris? Really?
In what way? In a negative way?
I didn't know, but instantly I took it as a negative way. What? There's people everybody needs to be up here. Nobody needs to be down here. But yeah, and I had to it was really hard for me to not show my emotion on my face, because I was offended. I was confused. I was a little angry. How could you? The audacity.
A little defensive.
Right. I was very defensive. So I had to pull my face mask up on my face, because I knew that all these muscles below my eyes were literally. I know my eyes were probably still piercing, but yes, but definitely emotions, and just not letting them show, being in tune with them, and being in control of your emotions, really.
I think it's less about like not letting them show and more so understanding that you have those emotions and then taking a minute to assess, okay, this is where I get to exercise my free choice. This is where I get to decide, like, if I show this emotion, is that going to make the situation better or worse?
Right, exactly.
If I don't show the emotion, is that going to make the situation better or worse? You know, and
it's like being at work and, you know, getting into it with your manager. That's your
Time
manager.
and
If you
place.
still wanted to have your job, unfortunately, you have to channel your emotion. Don't let it show. Go to the bathroom, do whatever you may need to do. Flush your face, yell, scream, go to your car. Do whatever you may need to do to make sure that you don't kirk off on somebody.
and get it together. And get it together. But let's say, for example, you're in a more personal situation where your friend says something, like say I said something crazy to you right now. You can show that emotion to me because we have created that type of dynamic of relationship, you know, very different from like at work with your manager, you know.
But you have to be aware as well that everybody's not going to be able to understand. Like, if you hurt me, I can't be angry if you don't understand that you hurt me. I can't. Like, recently, me and my little sister actually just got into a really, really big fight. And she didn't she's, how old is she, 17? So I don't know, I can't really fault her for not understanding how something she said or something she did may have affected me. The only person I am in control of is myself. So at the end of the day, I can only control what I put myself around, my space, and my emotions.
Facts.
So if she did something to offend me, which she did, I can't be mad that she's not understanding that she offended me. I feel like understanding something comes with age.
That's also true. Or experience.
Experience, yes.
Because some people can be really young.
Oh, they can be real old too and still not understand.
And have gone through a lot, or old and haven't gone through.
Or old and gone through a lot and still don't understand.
So a combination. We're going to say it's a combination.
They won't understand. Everybody just cannot understand you. Sometimes you're just too big. Sometimes you're too big for them to understand, too complex for them to understand. I'm a very complex person, so I can't get mad that people don't understand my emotions.
I'm a water sign. I go deep.
I'm a fire sign. I blow up.
Fiery.
Zodiacs, y'all.
So, I like what you said about like realizing and recognizing your emotions. For me, I'm a very emotional person.
I'm very emotional.
But inwardly, you know, so like not to the point where you'll see how I feel on my face in a interpersonal situation. But at the end of, like, I don't have a good poker face, but I know how to control my emotions. And if you really hurt me, or if you really like did something to me, I don't show you. And sometimes I don't, I'll say something if you make me angry, but if you hurt me, that makes me feel vulnerable.
That's how you know if somebody's really hurt you. If you're, like you were saying, you don't show, or you won't necessarily express all your emotions in front of a person. But if you're in front of somebody and they really hurt you and you express that vulnerability around them to where you're crying and you're letting them see you in that manner.
They have power over
That's
you.
giving them power, and then for them not to accept it and realize how much power they have, and not apologize for that is just crazy.
But do you want to know where the real power comes in? Forgiveness.
That is so true.
Because there's this quote that I really like. It's treat people as good as you are, not as good as they are. So when somebody does you wrong, which I'm a very nice person, so people try to take that kindness for weakness. Yeah. And I'm a very forgiving person too, not because I'm weak, because I choose to.
Right, because you hold unforgiveness in your heart that only hinders you, so it's really pointless.
Yeah, absolutely. And it took a while to get there, because for a long time I did carry a lot of this anger or resentment or vengeful emotions with me, but all that did was hold me back.
Right. So that's when you get to your point, like, okay, yes, you hurt me, I forgive you, but now I know how
but
you are, and now
do it
protecting
to me
my
again.
space.
You will not do it to me again.
Yep, at all.
Yeah.
Yep. Stay back.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgive you, but I have not forgotten, and I never will. Okay.
Right. I'm not, and I never will.
I never will. Yeah. What Cardi B say? When you beef with me, you beef with me forever.
Ever. Okay. I'm so done quoting Cardi B now. That's what we're doing.
her.
I cannot. Love her. Yeah, literally just definitely not forgetting. Because you forget, but I know for me, I just learned how to forgive.
It's
and
powerful.
Not forget. Because I wouldn't say that I would forget. I would say that I would forgive and still allow.
And expect them to change.
Exactly.
You can't expect nobody to change.
I know. So unfortunately,
The only person you can expect to change is yourself. And that is if you're growing. You can't expect that from anybody else because you can't control anybody else. And that's a very hard lesson to learn as well. I can't change that this person did this or might do it again, but I'm going to love myself enough, here we go, self-love journey, love myself enough to put myself in a position, elevate my situation so that they won't have the ability to do that to me ever again. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like a lot of people, like when they're in situations like I was, they feel like detaching yourself from a situation kind of like, I guess, makes you feel like you're not elevating yourself because you have to go through that withdrawal of your emotions once again, bring yourself back, then becoming in tune with yourself in order to elevate yourself. You're not just going to elevate yourself immediately. You're going to go through the whole emotional roller coaster because that's what it is to lose something that you really care about.
Yeah, you have to go through it. And not addressing it is a big mistake that we often make because, at least me, like I said, I put things kind of in a box somewhere, right, in the corner of my mind. But that resurfaces, as we discussed in the last episode. That resurfaces. So you over here, you got all these emotions from all these people that have done you wrong and you just X them out your life and that's it. But you haven't done anything to forgive or to heal or to put yourself in another situation. So now you're just bringing all of that with you. And that's what they call baggage, right? So now you got all this stuff on
lady, you gonna hurt your back. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I get.
She just said, I got a little hot in here. Okay.
I'm done. I cannot.
No, I'm just saying.
Seriously.
So, yes, put down the bags, okay? Look, I'm trying to be to the point where I could travel and not have to carry bags. I'll just buy it when I get there.
Ooh.
You hear me?
You know
Elevate your life.
You know how free you're gonna be?
Free. Like a bird.
Like it's a burden carrying a bag through the airport.
It is.
I don't even want to carry my purse. That's what I'm gonna have my personal assistant for. Like, just carry my purse. That way I can
carry
walk
a
through the
fanny
airport.
pack. I do the
Oh, you do the
fanny
swatch,
pack.
the swatch thing. Okay.
I got a little fanny pack right here, and that's all I'm carrying. Even that's too much. I'm like, dang. You know?
You be having too much in there. You be having too much in there. Like, we be having tiny purses and be still putting too much stuff in there.
Stuff it all in there.
Yeah.
Y'all men ain't gonna
You ain't gonna
understand
understand that. You ain't gonna understand that. But oh no, just recently I was on the phone with my friend and she was just telling me what she was going through and she was like, but you know, at the end of the conversation she'd be like, it's okay because it's not even affecting me anymore. And then it'll bring it up again. But it's not even affecting me anymore. I'm like, but it is.
You're in denial.
It is. You're in denial. It's okay. It's okay for something to affect you for a longer period of time. That's perfectly fine. But it's not okay when you allow it to affect your future.
Or your decision.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's not okay.
Because I used to pacify a lot. Like, I had a rocky childhood / adolescence years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I went to college, when I graduated from high school, I was like, I'm going to college. I'm getting out of here. And honestly, I don't even care if I don't see y'all ever again. Like, I was really bitter. Really bitter. Because I would blame the world for what was happening to me. You know, and as a child, like, I understand how you can see somebody else is responsible for you. But now that I am no longer a child, I didn't really know how to take care of myself for real or how to address those emotions. They were all in a box and the box was overflowing, okay? And so now, no,
Pick
not
up your
now.
emotions. Pick them up.
Yeah, put them back.
Somebody give her a garbage bag.
So yeah, I used to pacify. I used to drink a lot. I got a drinking ticket my freshman year of college. Yeah, I don't even know if I ever told my parents that. So my mom is gonna see this and she's gonna be questioning it, but she'll be all right. You'll be all right. You knew.
Right. Don't act like that. Don't be blind now. Don't be blind.
My mom would always call me in college at like 8 p.m. on a Friday night, and I'm like,
No.
she knew. But yeah, I used to do all these things. I used to like try to talk to guys and get in that whole mix to make myself feel better in that moment. And it worked for a while, but after I was done with all that, I still had those same emotions overfilling that box, you know? So
see, I can relate to that. Well, I wasn't talking to no guys. Every time I would go through something like drastic in my life, I would actually like cut all my hair off. So it would be kind of like restarting or resetting myself.
I would never cut my hair off.
Yeah, well, you know, for me it was just like, you know, hair, whatever, you know, let's restart. And
You were so strong.
I felt refreshed, not necessarily refreshed, but like kind of like brand new, or felt like I put a Band-Aid on what the actual issue was that was going on. But now that I've started like my real self-love journey, it's like now my hair is growing back. I actually recently cut off all my hair a year ago.
Okay.
And now that I've started my self-love journey, my hair is growing and it's flourishing. And it's like, that'll never be me again. Yeah. But it's just about like back to like channeling your emotions. I feel like everybody has something that they do when experiencing pain that kind of like brings them relief to kind of like Band-Aid the actual situation. It's not until you actually tune into yourself that you actually start doing something to actually better elevate yourself. Instead of putting Band-Aids, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do surgery, and we're going to do whatever we need to do so that way it heals properly, so that way it looks like you've never had it. Instead, we're walking around with Band-Aids that's old as hell, that got infections and everything like that. Like, just throw the Band-Aid away, put some Neosporin, and just, you know, let it heal.
Absolutely.
But you can't, you heal yourself. We heal ourselves, y'all. We heal ourselves, y'all. We are the ones who have the power to heal ourselves. Nobody else can heal you from something that you're hurting from. Nobody can understand that type of hurt that you're feeling. So the only person who can heal somebody is somebody who understands the situation. You're the only one who understands it. So
Absolutely.
We heal ourselves.
Absolutely. We just listened to that thing that was talking about how having a higher level of consciousness equals a longer
longevity of life.
Longer life, yeah, and more quality, like a better quality of life as well. Because we are able to heal ourselves.
Exactly.
You know, and that's physically, emotionally, spiritually. That works.
But a time, what comes with healing yourself is also taking the time that you may need to like rest. You can't just get shot and just think you're going to be
right.
Walking the next day. Is taking that time that you may need to sit back and pull away from everything to properly hear yourself. That could be what it is, pulling away from everything.
Right. And it's honestly, because every situation is different, but it's honestly about using that free choice that we've been talking about this whole episode.
Right.
Like, I want y'all to get it. You know, I keep saying it because I want y'all to get it. Like, you have the choice. Like, you have a lot more power than you realize. And you take control of that power through your actions. So if you were to get shot and you were like, oh, well, let's just put a Band-Aid on it.
You don't put no Band-Aid on no shot.
You know what I'm saying? That's a poor choice.
That's a very poor choice.
But taking time to heal is a healthy choice. So just having that like cognizance of what is a healthy choice, what is a poor choice in the situation that I am currently in.
So write out your choices. Write out your choices.
Yeah.
And from poor to like great, and then that should help.
And then decide.
And then decide.
And then decide. But make sure you face those emotions too. That's like the first thing. You got to deal with that first.
Before you can make a sound choice, you have to deal with your emotions, or you're going to be making a choice that's too emotional, and it's not going to benefit. Emotional choices do not really end well.
They don't benefit anybody.
They really don't.
The only emotional choice that has a benefit to you is an emotional choice made from love. And I don't mean me being in love with somebody and making a choice based on the love. I mean making a choice of action in love. That action, love is an action. It's a verb, right? We love people every day. I love you. The subject, love the verb,
English,
you, the predicate. Yeah, let's go back to 3rd grade. Come on, y'all ready?
It was 3rd grade. Look.
I just guessed. I don't know.
It was 3rd grade.
It's been so long since 3rd grade.
I remember. It was a couple years
But
ago.
yeah, love is a verb. That's something that you actively do, right? And when I say like making a choice in love, I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm in love with him and he said that we gotta. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
No, not at all.
That's not what I'm talking about. It means that you love yourself. You love the person that you were in the conversation with. Sorry if my hands are kind of cold.
Girl, her hands are cold. Like Jesus Christ. I was trying not to be like, please stop touching me, ma'am. Please keep your hands to yourself.
I already knew. I already knew.
Cold. I'm like, goodness, yes, okay. You love you. I love me. We love
each other.
Right.
And even though we are in a situation of either a conflict or disagreement, you have the choice to act in love and compassion. And acting in love and compassion, that is the only emotion that will get you any type of positive result, because that's the energy you're putting out, you know?
So yeah, so basically, if we got into an argument or anything, the argument will only last very minimal because we're acting in love. So we're gonna take what we're taking from the conversation or the situation or the debate, we're gonna understand each other's point of view, and then we're gonna go from there.
I love that.
Me too. Love. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love having you. It was a fantastic episode and we had a fun time. What I want you to focus on this week, when you have an emotional situation or something that triggers you to have an emotional response, to take 1 second, a deep breath in, and a releasing breath out. Do that before you make your decision, and understand and realize that you have free choice, okay? Make healthy decisions this week, everyone. Thank you so much. Asè and Namaste.
Right.